Creed 3. There's no comma to the title. Creed 3, the disaster movie. Creed 3, second round knockout. Creed 3, he's back again. There's none of that. Just Creed 3. And it's good. This movie is good. This is probably one of the best boxing movies I've ever seen. And of course, you've got the Rocky franchise, and of course, you've got Raging Bull, Body and Soul, Penitentiary. I mean, the list goes on with a ton of boxing movies. Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, and Jonathan Majors, Kang. Marvel, two of Marvel's big bad, decided to get in here and knuckle up. And it's a good story. It takes you back to the feel of some of the Rocky franchise. Rocky got in the ring and he punched people in the face hard, but oftentimes things would happen. Mickey died and he got messed up. He fought and lost to Mr. T, Clubber Lane, and his mind was all messed up. It was an emotional time. Apollo died, emotional time. This movie, not only do they have two guys beating the crap out of each other, there's an emotional tie to everything else that's happening also. There's a callback to Apollo Creed, and it was a tearjerker moment. It was a tearjerker moment, and it was really well placed in this movie. Donnie Creed, has a friend from way back when he was in the home, the orphanage type home. Dame, short for Damien. Dame. He's his friend from way back, but Dame's a little bit on the edge. He's a little bit of a criminal. So they're together, they're friends, they get into trouble. Donnie leaves Dame, and Dame goes to jail, ends up going to jail for 18 years because of something that they had done together. And Dame kind of was trying to protect Donnie. And it's not real kind of. He was trying to protect Donnie, and Donnie bailed on him. His life gets better. He gets out of the home. He gets a good family. He's got money in his pocket. He decides to forget about Dame and all of that stuff that happened back in the day, starting his life over. He's got a wife. He's got a child. He was the heavyweight champ. He's retired now. He's teaching up-and-coming talent to do the things he did, to give them a shot. Dame gets out of jail and goes to him and says, "Hey man, I would like a shot too. I mean, your pop gave Rocky a shot, and look where that went. People still talk about that fight, man. So why don't you give me a shot at your guy who's holding the title?" And he does. Not a good idea. The entirety of the movie is based on that. The original decision to leave his friend, and then the decision to try to help his friend now. It's a tearjerker. It's a good fight. There's not just people in the ring punching each other. The fight is artistic, and the fight is dramatic, and it pulls you in. And it was good. There's a scene where the two are fighting, and they're so hell-bent on destroying each other that they don't even acknowledge anyone else in the building. And it shows them fighting, and it's like there's no one in the arena. It's just them, bang, bang, and they're punching each other. There's one scene where they hit each other, and it looks like they knocked each other out. These two dudes beat the brakes off of each other, and it's exciting. It's exciting, especially because you know that they used to be best friends. Dame says, "We were like brothers." Family fights. So they fight one another, And it was a good fight. And there's more drama in it that brings them into the fight. They're not just fighting because of what happened in the past. They're not just fighting because Dame wants to be the champ and Donnie doesn't want him to be, so he's going to try to fight him. That's not what happens. Dame does something that triggers Donnie. And he's like, for some reason, he's thinking the only way I can stop him is if I get in the ring. You could ignore him. He's a fighter. Everybody in the ring is punching and hurting people. Just ignore that stuff, man. You live your life, But he's like, nope, got to get in the ring. I think it was predominantly because he had unresolved issues with Dame, and Dame definitely had some unresolved issues with Donnie. And the only way that these two fighters can settle it is to get in a ring, and somebody is gonna get that business. And that's what happened. They got the business. So the fight, the movie ends with you wondering where it's going next. It's pretty obvious that there's going to be more, but it makes you wonder which direction, because they could go and really three different directions. They could get one person back. They could take the champ and go forward. There's someone in the family who wants to fight, and it's his daughter. There's a lot of female fighters out there now, man, and that's a really big sport. So it could go to his daughter, and his daughter could take the name Creed to the next level. I don't know, but I'm curious. Man, I want to know what happens next. This movie was great. Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan give a great representation of two men that loved and now hate each other. These two do a master class on athletic action movies. They're great. Both of these guys are great. They're both in phenomenal condition. Both of them have the take the shirt off, check me out moment. Both of them have that. They're kind of stretching in there, but they're really showing the audience, look how well defined and how cut up I am. Look at me, I'm super sexy. They had that moment. Both of them had that in there. There was almost nobody in the theater with me, but the women that were in the theater, I could hear them, ooh, ah. So they did the right thing with this movie, having these two guys that were chiseled. It's pretty much what you're gonna get in a Rocky movie / Creed movie anyway. Rocky, Apollo, Mr. T, Clubber Lang, all of them, every single one of them. Drago, they were all muscle-bound, big, tough guys. But in this movie, they're not just big, tough, muscle-bound dudes. They're potentially sex symbols. So, chicks dig that. So they did the right thing with this movie. If they want to drag the audience along with them, that's another thing that will get that done. One more thing I'm going to say, Drago was in this movie, Drago Jr. He only had a little itty bitty part. I was expecting more, but he's kind of a friend to Donnie, the way Apollo and Rocky became friends. They helped each other, they trained each other, stuff like that. I get the vibe that that's where they're going with that, which would make sense because that dude's a great actor too. They had 4 Marvel people in this movie, and that was kind of cool. There's a lot of them. You work a Marvel movie, you're probably going to get a chance to work other movies. But Creed 3, have you seen it? I saw it. It was good. And I would give this movie, Creed 3, 9 bags of popcorn. 9 bags of popcorn. I might have said 8, but 9, because it pulls on your heartstrings a little bit. 9 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. More importantly, what do you think about that? not just seen a video, let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn Passport.